Alright, let's come back now in our thoughts to California. If Wisconsinites can do it in the snow, we can rally in the rain. We want positive and powerful events. Troublemakers sometimes show up and try to goad us with offensive comments and Victoria reactions on video, trying to distort our powerful positive message. We're not here to fight. We're here to stand up for what we want. And if people do attempt to disrupt, what we'll do is start a chant from the speaker's platform here and ask you to join in that chant. And in the meantime, if somebody persists in trying to disrupt, we will call 911 and ask them to leave and get some help to help them leave. So don't let anyone provoke you. Stay calm. And do not try to confront anybody that's counter-rallying or trying to disrupt. Are we here for serious reasons?
Yes!
Are we here to have fun too?
Yes!
If you're not having fun yet, it's here. You just got to join in. One of the things we're here for today is to urge our representatives and senators to defend the American dream from the massive attacks on workers' rights by Republicans in Wisconsin, in Michigan, and in other states, and also in Washington, D.C. Last week, Wisconsin Republicans rammed through their attack on workers' rights in a shocking power grab. And Congress is poised to strike a horrible deal on the federal budget, cutting our health care, environmental protections, and housing assistance, and destroying jobs. Shame! 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 They recently proposed Republican budget, if it were to get enacted, would mean firing 65,000 teachers, killing 700,000 jobs, and sending 10,000 veterans into homelessness. And that's just the beginning.
Shame!
Shame! Shame! That's right. Shame! 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 Republicans, you don't.
No!
Now let me ask another question. How many people do you think got surprised after they had sex when they got pregnant?
Too many.
50%. 50% of pregnancies are unintended. 50%.
Wow.
And let me tell you something else. How many people do you think in this country have had an abortion? 30% of women have had an abortion, will have an abortion at some time in their lives. And I'll tell you another big secret. Some of those people are Republicans.
Oh my God! No! They have sex too?
True. Now let's see what else we can figure out here today. So we hear there's a $1.5 trillion.
What? You mean they didn't just say no?
Yeah, that's right. We hear there's a $1.5 trillion deficit. Let's see whose fault that is. Anybody here make $810 billion last year?
No!
The oil industry did. Anybody here vote to spend $3 trillion fighting phantom weapons of mass destruction in Iraq?
No!
Here's a fact. Corporate profits went up to $1.6 trillion in 2010. Over half of U.S. companies paid no federal taxes at some time in the last decade. Anybody here make $1.6 trillion and not pay any taxes?
No!
Okay, maybe not our fault. So here in California, we've seen some of the starkest financial tragedies, the tragic divide between rich and poor, entire communities devastated by the irresponsible criminal negligence of the banks and finance capital. But let me ask you another question. Do we have any power?
Yes!
Do we have power?
Yes!
You bet we have power. If we didn't have power, they wouldn't have to bop us over the head so hard to try to keep us down all the time.
That's right.
The right-wing extremists in Congress are marching to the tune of the extremists in the corporate world. In Congress and in the states, the far right is going after us, all of us, with their guns drawn literally and figuratively. And the heavens are cooperating. The Republican budget bill would slash funds to implement health care reform, slash Head Start, early childhood programs, Pell Grants to students, close down public radio, deregulate environmental polluters. And for women, and for those of you who ever had or ever will have sex, they would do this. They would defund family planning, period. They would even the cancer screenings that Planned Parenthood does, the preventive health services in poor neighborhoods, and remember, half of pregnancies are unintended, the percent would go straight up. And on top of that, they would make it virtually impossible to get an abortion. Because many employees get a federal tax break for providing health insurance, extremists say this means you should not be able to use your private health insurance to pay for an abortion because there's a public dollar in there somewhere. So it's worse. No. It's worse than that. You've probably heard some of the proposals defining the murder of abortion providers as justifiable homicide.
No!
Authorizing hospitals to refuse abortions, even if it would result in the death of the mother.
No!
The number of pro-choice, reliable pro-choice senators is now 40. The vast majority of Americans believe that we as individuals have the right to make our own decisions about how and when we're going to have children. The majority believe that abortion should be legal.
Power to women's rights.
Power to women's rights.
The Trust Women Silver Ribbon Campaign was formed so that the 80% of us who support individual choices about our reproductive freedom can wear the silver ribbon pin, can be visible and vocal, and can take action. We can exert tremendous influence over our life courses, but in many other ways we all do as well, not as individuals, but as our communities. It's when we're united that we truly have power. If we didn't have power, if we didn't have any money, the right wing would not be pitching such a fight. And that's why we have to be smart. They're throwing everything at us at the same time. They're trying to smash our unions, smash our democracy, smash our freedom of choice about when we're going to have kids and with whom. But because
the patriarchy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because when we are strongest when we're united, and we're weakest when they can pull us apart. We're here today with Madison. We're here today with Ohio. We're here today with the LGBT community, with undocumented immigrants, with men and women, and for sure with all of us who have sex.
United we stand, divided we fall.
United we stand, divided we fall. United we stand, divided we fall. United we stand, divided we fall.
United we stand, divided we fall.
We're here with the people near the Fukushima Daiichi reactor, whose caretakers kept saying, "Don't worry, it's perfectly safe."
Yeah, you're right.
We're here with each other because we know that when we stand together, that's when we have power. Do we have power?
Yes!
Do we have power?
Yes!
Do we have power?
Yes!
Now let's show our leaders what that power is and what they need to do with it. Thank you.
Union States of America! Union States of America! Union States of America!
Union States of America. Union States of America. One more.
Union States of America!
All right, we have a number of other fantastic speakers lined up. Let's see. Lawrence, can you take the megaphone?
Sure. Maybe. Maybe. I got that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our next speaker, Ken Trey. Ken, are you right here somewhere?
Right behind her.
Okay. All right. Just a minute. Ken Trey, active member of UESF, SFUSD member, and probably a number of other things. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Hello, brothers and sisters. Thanks for staying out in the rain. My name is Ken Trey. I'm on the executive board of the United Educators of San Francisco. We represent the 6,000 teachers, classroom aides, security aides that keep the schools of San Francisco running even during this draconian season of budget cuts. Are you with the educators of San Francisco? Yes! Now, I was inspired by the rain, and it was a song written by Bob Dylan, which I'm not going to sing, but in his song Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, he says, the executioners' faces are always well hidden. Well, you know what? Today's executioners are not well hidden. We know what it is, we know who they are, and it's called corporate greed. Yeah! The reason why we're here today is for one basic reason. Because of the greed of the corporate elite. You know, when a teacher has a bad day, they lose a night of sleep. And they think about how they're going to go back to the class the next day and make it right with the students. Make the lesson better. Repair someone's hurt feelings. That's what they want to do, go back and give to the community. When a corporate CEO, when the corporate elite have a bad day, meaning the profit margin wasn't quite right, they go to the cocktail lounge or the private suite and they begin planning for the next day. And you know what they plan to do? What? They figure out, well, how many thousands of workers do we have to lay off to meet the bottom line? They think about what kind of tax cut do we have to force the state legislators into or Congress into? Shame! Or they think they're definitely into people over profit. And that's why we're here, because of that corporate greed. And what does the corporate greed mean? It means that classrooms are getting larger. It means that 65% of the American teachers report that they experience the outcome of hunger in their classroom every day. 65% of American teachers experience students showing up hungry every day. What does corporate greed also mean? That 25% of American children are now living in poverty. Is that right? No! Is that right? No! Are you ready to fight? Yes! Are you ready to support the kids? Yes! Are you ready to support the teachers? Yes! You know, the number one indicator of failure in school is poverty. Poverty. And we know that the corporate elite of the United States is making record profits. It's simply criminal. It's absolutely criminal that we have to stand here in the rain to fight for crumbs, to keep our schools going, to keep our detox centers going. Right around the corner here is a free clinic to help people try to get off drugs and alcoholism. And you know what? With the latest round of federal budget cuts, that clinic might close. With the new state budget, that clinic might close. So that at the end of the day, it's a question of what kind of country do we want to have. Are we going to allow the sociopaths who seem to have no idea about the pain and human misery they cause by their blind lust and greed, are we going to allow them to run the country? No! Thank you for being here. Let's fight for our democracy, and maybe the rain will stop. Take care. Thank you.